The Calabash Kids. Long ago, in a quiet village surrounded by hills, baobab trees, and singing birds, there lived a woman named Mama Maji. She was known throughout the land as a kind, generous, and wise woman. Everyone in the village loved her for her gentle heart and the advice she gave freely. She had helped many mothers during childbirth, fed hungry children, and was always the first to offer assistance during hard times. But Mama Maji carried a silent sorrow. She had no children of her own. Each morning, she watched as other mothers braided their daughters' hair or walked with their sons to the market. She would smile warmly, but when she returned to her hut, her heart ached. She prayed daily to the gods, to the spirits of the ancestors, and to the earth for just one child to call her own. One day, during a harsh dry season, Mama Maji journeyed deep into the forest in search of fresh water. The village stream had dried up, and she had heard whispers of a hidden spring deep within the sacred woods. She packed a small meal, carried her gourd, and made her way through thick foliage, guided only by the sounds of birds and the memory of old tales her grandmother once told. Hours passed, and finally, near the base of a giant fig tree, she found it, a clear, glistening stream bubbling gently between rocks. Grateful, Mama Maji filled her gourd and sat under the tree to rest. As she closed her eyes, the wind rustled through the leaves, and something on the forest floor caught her attention. 5 calabashes, old and dry, lying nestled among the roots of the tree. They looked ordinary, but something about their presence felt sacred. Mama Maji picked them up. These will be good for carrying water, she thought. She thanked the spirits of the forest, tucked the calabashes in her basket, and made her way back to the village. That evening, she cleaned the calabashes with warm water and ash, scrubbing them until they shone in the firelight. As night fell and the stars blinked into the sky, Mama Maji placed the calabashes near the hearth and lay down to sleep. But just before midnight, a soft humming filled the air. The wind blew gently through the hut, and the fire sparked and danced as though it had come alive. The calabashes began to glow faintly, then shake, then burst open, not with sound but with light. And then, before Mama Maji's astonished eyes, 5 beautiful children stood where the calabashes had been. 3 boys and 2 girls, each with radiant skin, shining eyes and warm smiles. "Mama," they said in unison, reaching for her. At first, Mama Maji trembled with fear. Was she dreaming? Had spirits come to test her? But as she looked into their eyes and felt their small hands in hers, her heart overflowed with love. "You are mine," she whispered. "You are my children." From that moment, her hut was filled with laughter, songs, and the joy she had longed for all her life. She named the children Olu, Tund, Zina, Kemi, and Didi. Each one had a unique personality. Olu was curious and brave. Tund was thoughtful and kind. Zina was playful and clever. Kemi was gentle and wise beyond her years. And Didi, the youngest, had a voice so sweet it made birds stop to listen. Word spread like wildfire through the village. "Mama Maji has 5 children, and they came from calabashes." Some were amazed and celebrated her miracle. Others, skeptical and envious, whispered behind her back. "They are not real," said Naja, a woman known for her sharp tongue and jealousy. "Children do not come from gourds. This is witchcraft." But Mama Maji paid no mind to the whispers. She raised her children with love and discipline. She taught them to respect elders, to care for others, and to honor the earth and their ancestors. The Calabash Kids, as they became known, brought joy wherever they went. They sang songs that made the old smile, helped the farmers with their crops, and played with younger children, teaching them kindness and cooperation. Despite their magical origin, the children never misused their gifts. They lived humbly and worked hard. The villagers grew to love them, though a few still eyed them with suspicion. Years passed, and the children grew tall and strong. One day, during the annual festival of the ancestors, the whole village gathered in the square for dancing, feasting, and storytelling. The Calabash Kids performed a beautiful song and dance that moved even the sternest elder to tears. But just as the crowd cheered, Naja stood up. "They deceive us with their smiles and songs," she cried. "Let them prove they are human. Let them walk through the sacred fire of truth." If they pass, then we will believe. If not, let them leave our village. Gasps filled the air. The sacred fire was an ancient ritual meant only for the purest of hearts. Many believed it could reveal the truth behind one's soul. Mama Maji was heartbroken. Must they prove their worth after all they've done? She pleaded. But the elders, swayed by public pressure, agreed to the trial. The next morning, as the sun rose over the hills, the villagers gathered around the sacred flame. Mama Maji stood with her children, her heart pounding. "Are you afraid?" she asked them. "No, Mama," said Olu, holding her hand. "We will walk in truth." The 5 children joined hands and walked toward the fire. As they stepped into the flames, a great silence fell. The fire crackled, then roared, then burst into a brilliant column of light. Thunder rumbled, and the earth trembled. A whirlwind swept through the square, and the children began to glow. Slowly, they lifted off the ground, their bodies shimmering like gold. Then, in the blink of an eye, they vanished, leaving behind only the 5 original calabashes, now glowing faintly and resting at Mama Maji's feet. There was a stunned silence. Mama Maji fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. She cradled the calabashes, whispering, "My children, my precious ones." The village elders lowered their heads in shame. "They were a blessing," said the oldest among them, "and we failed to see it." From that day on, the calabashes were placed in the village shrine, surrounded by flowers and offerings. They became a symbol of love, faith, and the mystery of life. Children came to hear the tale, and mothers prayed before the calabashes for the gift of kindness and protection for their own children. Mama Maji lived many more years. Though her children never returned, she was never alone. Every morning, she would sing their songs, water the shrine with tears of gratitude, and tell their story to anyone willing to listen. The tale of the Calabash Kids became a treasured part of the village's heritage, passed down from grandmother to grandchild, a story of hope, the power of love, and the truth that sometimes, miracles come from the most unexpected places. Moral of the story: the Calabash Kids teaches us that true family is not always born of blood, but of love. It reminds us not to judge what we do not understand and to accept that sometimes, life's greatest blessings come in magical and mysterious ways. Suspicion and jealousy can destroy beauty, but faith, kindness, and open hearts will always triumph.